So at this point, I will announce the winners, starting with the third place winner, Alexandra Reszytniak from the Academy of the Holy Names.
Can I move this up? Well, first can everyone hear me? Okay. First, I wanted to thank the Albany-Tula Alliance, the judges, and my mother for being here today, who is actually a former member of the Albany-Tula Alliance. Well, what I first thought of myself when I heard the question was I would love to teach my grandma how to text. I would love for her to be able to text me. I could text her all day. I thought that was amazing. But I would say the main focus of my essay was to be open-minded. On June 26th of 2015, Supreme Court ruled same-sex marriage legal, and that opened the door for a lot of people to be able to express themselves in ways they haven't before. So with that, I thought that the best thing my generation could teach older generations is to be more open-minded and understanding. Thank you.
And now I will announce the second place winner, Ian Moore of Averill Park High School.
So I too would like to thank the Albany-Tula Alliance and also my family and my teacher who unfortunately wasn't able to make it tonight because he has a lacrosse game. So my essay, my generation lives in a time of great societal change and technological advancements. The internet especially has allowed us to remain both continuously connected with each other and also introduce new ideas. This is why I discuss why I believe the older generation can learn a renewed sense of trust and acceptance from us. Back in 2004, a paper was published on the findings of a social experiment conducted in Russia a few years prior. The experiment was designed to determine the trust levels of citizens in a transitioning society following the end of a communist regime. Sadly, they found low levels of trust among people outside of immediate family members. Trust fosters cooperation, exchange, civic engagement, and community building, but without it in a new society, they would not be able to develop.
Speak just a little louder.
Oh, sorry. In 2005, following the advent of Facebook, the Pew Research Center began to research into social media usage. Since then, they have seen a significant uptick in the amount of social media usage, especially among 18 to 29-year-olds. Lately, we have seen platforms like Twitter being used by politicians to interact with their constituents to keep them informed and engaged. As was mentioned in the Russia trust experiment, increasing availability to elected officials and the government in general leads to a greater sense of trust. Furthermore, in both Russia and the United States, freedom of and from religion has given us a greater sense of identity. Technology has allowed us the opportunity to express those beliefs, including expressions of gender identity, sexual orientation, or simply what we choose to share about ourselves. This is why I feel a renewed sense of trust and acceptance is the greatest thing the older generation can learn from mine. Social media has helped to foster this idea and will continue to in the future.
So, to get to the first place winner, I would like to invite Adam Aleksic to come forward.
I would also like to thank the Albany-Tula Alliance for this wonderful opportunity, for the prize, and for organizing the event. I wrote my essay on intergenerational linguistic cooperation in Russia and America. Language is always evolving. 6,000 years ago, nomads in the Pontic steppe spread out all over the rest of Europe. With every new generation, tiny changes were made in each geographical region until we arrived here with English and Russian, two very different languages with very different orthographies and phonologies. This process of change endures. Younger generations are constantly adding new words, which are either picked up by older generations or incorporated when they become the older generations. This slang pervades. In the Soviet Union, the so-called Stilyagi began using English words to rebel against communist culture. The borrowings continue in Russia today, with over 20% of youth slang coming from English, influencing their elders and causing the change of the entire language. Additionally, you have to consider the human factor. When a family moves to a new country, it often happens that the child lateralizes the language more quickly and is then able to translate for the parents. First-generation immigrants raising a child native to a different country can also see that child assist them with language. Whether in the context of international loanwords or locally developing slang, or in a mere household's vernacular, it is evident that older generations in Russia and America are linguistically influenced by my generation.